Hey YouTube, X52708 here, and this is going to be a response to a tagging video by my good friend Cessnaace. Also with a little mixture of questions in from somebody else that's done a similar video, another good friend of mine called Neutronics. So this is, as you can see from the title, guys, this is Halloween tagged. So I've got a series of questions here, all relating to Halloween, horror films, etc. So let's crack on and see what we can do. I've got a lousy memory, so I've written notes down. So first question, guys: favourite food whilst watching a horror film? Now for me that depends if I'm watching a horror film at home or if I'm watching it at the cinema. If it's at home, then the biggest bag of cheesy Doritos that I can get my hands on. Love my cheesy Doritos and quite happily munch through a big cinema-sized bag on my own over a good film. So that's if I'm at home. If I'm at the cinema, then normally something like a small box of fruit pastels or something like that. Although that does tend to backfire on me because fruit pastels dehydrate me something chronic. So it's either a case of taking in some, a can of Coke or something with me and needing the toilet halfway through the film and missing parts of the film, or sitting there throughout the rest of the film feeling incredibly dehydrated till I can get outside afterwards and grab a drink. So that's question number one. Question number two: favourite horror film icon. That was quite a tough one for me actually, because my favourite film genre is horror films, similar to one of my good friends, Fletcher13, who I'm going to tag at the end of this video as well. So, runner-up is for me going to be Freddy Krueger, mainly really because those films were done in the 80s, or most of the films were done in the 80s, and for me 80s was my era for growing up and watching those sorts of films. So he's probably my runner-up, and the winner hands down for me has got to be Michael Myers from the Halloween films. Incredibly scary character, just got so much evil about him, whatever situation he's in. And for me, somebody that holds a very strong character throughout the series of films. So Michael Myers on that one. Next one, guys, was favourite horror film music. Again, that's fairly easy for me because one of my favourite sets of films are the Halloweens. So for me, Halloween wins music-wise, hands down. Incredibly eerie theme music. I like watching my films, in the pitch black, either with the sound turned up really loud, going through the speakers and the subwoofer, or with headphones on, if the kids are in, or when the kids are in bed I should say, not out and about, shopping, etc. So, that sort of music, really full blast and whatever, really, gets the old dicky ticker going. And really does create an eerie, scary atmosphere for a film. So Halloween on that one. Next question, guys: favourite horror film. Massive choice of films. Like I say, horror is my favourite genre. I could have gone for films like the Wrong Turn series, The House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Halloween's, Final Destination trilogy, etc. But for me, my favourite set of films, probably runner-up wise, would be any of the earlier George A. Romero films. But the winners for me is actually modern day horror, which is the Saw series. For me, they took graphicness, if you like, in horror films to a whole new level. They're scary and eerie and incredibly graphic. Some of the ways that he kills the victims off, etc. is just absolutely shocking. But you know, for me as a big horror fan, is incredibly, you know, incredibly great to watch. And you know, quite a big adrenaline rush, and you know, whatever with it. So for me, any of the Saw films, I think they're 5 was the last one I saw. 6 is coming out in the cinema very shortly. And you know, for me, it's a set of films that hasn't been spoilt by taking it to another film. You know, it's a set of films that hold their own through, you know, 1 through to 5 very, very well. So definitely looking forward to seeing what Saw 6 has in store for us. The last question, guys, is your favourite horror game. That one wasn't really too difficult for me. Obviously, being a Mega Drive fan, then it needs to be a game on the Mega Drive, and I think probably I've only got a couple of horror games. One of them being The Haunting, which, you know, it is a good game, but it's all about poltergeists haunting houses and things like that. So it's not a particularly graphic game. It's just a very, very funny game scaring people. So the winner, hands down, in my collection so far has got to be Splatterhouse 2. This for me, you know, mutilating people with chainsaws, you know, in a, you know, Michael Myers sort of costume, if you like. You know, wins it for me. It's incredibly graphic. You know, splatter is in the title. Blood splatters everywhere when you're killing your victims, and you know, it's just an incredibly unique game on the Mega Drive. So for me, Splatterhouse 2. Okay, guys, I now need to tag. I've put down 5 people. I'm actually going to tag 6 people on this one. So apologies if you've done one already. You don't have to do another one. And likewise, if I read your name out and you just don't fancy doing one, you know, horror's not your cup of tea, etc., then fine, not a problem. So first up being tagged, guys, is Airrunner85. Tagging Halloween tag from you, matey, answering those questions. Next up, great guy, Chipsters. I think most of you know Chipsters and his channel by now, so you're tagged, matey. Next one, a good friend of mine on here, a guy called Demon Machine, so I'd like to hear your responses to those as well. Next up is another good friend of mine, Gamer Pigeon. So again, if you can answer those, matey, put up a response video, that'd be brilliant. And the last 2 people, guys, first of all, Cessnaace. Great, absolutely great guy, really, really good friend of mine, top bloke. So hopefully can get you to do a video response as well, please, for that, matey. And last but not least, as I mentioned earlier on in my answers, is Fletcher 13. So really looking forward to seeing your response as well when you get a chance, matey. So I know horror's by far your favourite genre of film. So looking forward to hearing your responses. So we'll leave it there for now, guys. So as always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll put up another video shortly. Bye for now.